guys, my name is Natalie, and today I am in my new apartment, and it's so exciting and so stressful. I am officially a Florida resident, and I have Florida license plate on my car, and yes, a mailing address in Florida, and I'm here. I'm here finally, after months of worrying about it. It's finally all done. Well, not done yet. I still have a lot of unpacking to do. So I think this is where I'm going to start filming. These are all of my TBR books, so you can check out what I still need to read. Yeah. Anyway, okay, I'm going to get started. This is my July wrap-up. July was a fabulous reading month for me, surprisingly, because there was a lot of stress and things. And anyway, let's get to the books. First, I read You Go Bernadette by Maria Semple. This book was fabulous. It was my first audiobook ever, which was a really interesting experience for me. I would not recommend this book on audiobook. I was glad I had a physical copy to follow along, because the whole story is done primarily through emails and kind of just email correspondence with the characters. So it was kind of hard to follow listening to the narrator read it. But this is about an agoraphobe named Bernadette, and she has some strange things happen to her that leads her to run away from her family. A very interesting, very quirky book. I really enjoyed this read, and yeah, I will link my Goodreads review down below. Next, we have The Last Wife of Henry VIII by Carolee Erickson. This book was a very good historical fiction being the emphasis here. As I read reviews on Goodreads, everyone bashed it for not being 100% historically accurate, but yet I feel like there's really not that much known about the last wife of Henry VIII. I mean, there were 6 of them, by golly, but this was a really interesting book. I really enjoyed it, and I've realized the reason I called her Catherine Seymour instead of Catherine Parr is because she ends up falling in love with Catherine Seymour's brother. It's written on the back. It's also part of history, not a complete spoiler. But this was a really interesting book. I just did not know a lot, and I still feel like I don't know a lot about Catherine Parr, but yes, also finished this one. Next, I have Charlie Glass's Slippers by Holly McQueen. I adored this book. I have a review for it. I will link it below because it is that spectacular. Yes, fabulous book. Making my top of the year, definitely. Alright, then I have the books I read for the Cramathon. I have Quidditch Through the Ages by J.K. Rowling, along with Tales of Beedle the Bard by J.K. Rowling. I really enjoyed these books and talked about them in my wrap-up, so I'm just gonna, yes, Harry Potter. And then I have Timeless Love by Judith O'Brien. This was another historical fiction about one of Henry VIII's sons, Edward. Edward VI was Henry's only son. I really enjoyed this book. It was very cute and interesting and short, so yes. And then I have the Sex and the City Kiss and Tell. This book was fantastic. I really enjoyed the pictures. However, I don't feel like it was a book meant to be read, kind of just perused and kind of read at leisure, however you want to say it. But it wasn't really a good book to read at one go. Moving on. We have Name Dropping by Jane Heller. I also reviewed this book, so I'm going to leave a link below. Fabulous book about 2 women who have a mistaken identity snafu. They live in the same apartment building, and they are both named Nancy Stern. And it just shenanigans do ensue. Great book. I really enjoyed this read. And then I have my first Sarah Dessen book, Just Listen, and I really enjoyed it. I don't understand the hype behind Sarah Dessen, but this is about Annabelle, who is the youngest of 3 daughters, and she is the youngest model. All 3 daughters in this book are models, and the middle daughter, ends up having an eating disorder, and that really brings the family dynamic together, and I really did appreciate the family aspect of this book, as well as really diving into eating disorders and problems like that, because I understand a lot of people face them, especially Sarah Dessen's demographic with being a YA book. I did enjoy it. I just don't understand why everyone goes bananas bananas for Sarah Dessen. Fabulous book, very well written. I will probably pick up another Sarah Dessen book though, that being said. Yeah. Okay, I have next The Bone Season by Samantha Shannon. Wonderful book. I'm going to do a review of this eventually when life calms down and I can stop and just breathe and get back into a routine of sorts. This is a great dystopian era book about a girl named Paige who has some superpowers. Well, not superpowers, they're not super, just some unusual powers, and she's a clairvoyant, and there are a whole bunch of people like her that can kind of connect to the spirit world, I guess. I listened to this on audiobook and I read it, and I really appreciated the narrator's voice because she was Irish and the main character was Irish. It was just beautiful, but it was very slow. The narrator talked very slowly. If you haven't noticed already, I talk quickly, I move fast. I don't like slow. But it was very good. Definitely brought something new to the table listening to this on audiobook for parts of it, and then I read parts of it because it was just too slow. But I read it, I understand what happens. I'm still not like 110% like I understand this world because this is a whole new world. Yes. Cue the Disney music. A whole new world. And that Samantha Shannon built, which I really appreciated too. I think it was a great read. I just kind of need to either read it again or just get my junk together before I order the second book in a series, because it's a predicted series of 7 books. And then the last 2 books I read were assigned to me for review by publishers. Actually, the last 3 books. I have Fuzzy Mud by Sachar, which I've done a YouTube review of, and I'll leave that video down below. And I have Goodbye Stranger, which is a wonderful, wonderful book by Rebecca Stead. And I also have a review to that down below. I'll link it. Yeah, and then the 3rd book I had to review for a publisher, I will just put the picture here of some sort. Don't know where yet. It was Truth and Temptation, and the author's name is escaping me, and I'm very sorry. It was a new adult book that I gave a 3 out of 5 star review on Goodreads. It was a good book, very, very well written, I must say. Phenomenal writing, just not my cup of tea, and I've realized that, and now I just need to not do new adult anymore. There were naughty scenes, and not that I just didn't like reading them. I didn't. I'm just not that kind of person that likes to read that kind of stuff. More power to you if you do, but just not my cup of tea. Anyway, that being said, I think I'm going to do grand total books here because I am too tired to count, and I think it's 13, but I don't want to like commit to being like, hey, it's 13 books I read this month, but so I'm going to put the number here. I could be wrong. Of course, my camera cut out at the end of this whole shenanigans, so if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please leave them in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.